There we have it. Let me just fix this. Boom. That looks good enough, I think. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do the trick.
Sweet man pajama.
All
Sorry
right.
about that.
Oh no, you are good. So, you've seen the interviews. You know the first question right off the rip. We're gonna ask one sentence about you, favorite animal, and something that arouses you immediately.
Okay. So, one sentence about.
Yeah, any sentence.
I believe my Twitter says it all. Hold on real quick. I can't remember it word for word. But I am a gun-slinging cowboy whose life goal is to find the perfect cheeseburger.
Okay. I like that.
Favorite animal? I would probably say dog. A medium-sized dog. You don't want them too small. You don't want them too big.
Yeah, my dad has a Great Dane, and let me tell you, that's too big.
Yeah, that's way too big. And then the final question was...
Something that arouses you immediately.
Okay, so there's a sexual aspect of it, and then there's just something that's just non-sexual that arouses me.
Okay.
I would say titties completely. Doesn't matter what size or shapes, colors, titties are always good.
Yeah, agreed.
And then non-sexual, I would say anything scientific or technologically wise that's new. I like that kind of stuff. It gives me big old boners, man.
I'm with you on the technology, dude. Like do you remember when VR first came out?
Yep.
Dude, my roommate in college won some hack thing. We were both doing the engineering and stuff. He won some hack contest, and they gave him a prototype of the Oculus Rift when it first came out, and we were tripping out. Like it was like next level shit. You're like, it was shitty games, of course, because no one had access to it yet, but like just being able to move around and look around and stuff. Like the games were dumb. It was like you pick up a ball and put it in a basket, like prototype shit. But it was just insane.
Like military wise, even cool. Like I don't know how deep you've gone into
Appreciate those biddies, Jimmy.
One plane that goes up to like, I think it's like 80,000 feet up in the air.
Okay, yeah.
It's crazy just to even think that. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy how far we've come. So
Yeah,
me and Moose talked about something similar to that, and how quick technology evolved, changed. That we went from electricity to, like you said, jets that are aircrafts that are doing this in the course of like 40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
Do you think that was just pure human innovation? Do you believe in something stepping in, aliens, maybe time travel? Or do you think we just came up with a shit?
I think it's mostly we came up with this shit, but there is a not possibility. I want to say there is a probability that some type of outer dimensional or outer world help push this forward. I mean, the universe is so gigantic; it's hard to think that there can't be any other type of intelligent life out there.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I am so with you. I think anybody that thinks we're alone out here is afraid to explore the thought of how big the universe is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a massive place, man.
Massive. And then like you even have shit like even before our era, like the pyramids, just the design of the pyramids, and that the fact that they're still standing. I mean, they've outsurvived the Colosseum. Some of the best engineering in the world has been outlived by pyramids that were built seemingly in a primitive way.
And it's crazy that they're angled to perfection, basically.
Yeah.
And that's using no modern technology.
They didn't have lasers telling you what angle you were doing. Like, no, it's just eyeballing it. So
yeah, exactly, man. So.
I've always believed in that. I come from an area where everybody's really religious, so people don't like the idea of thinking of that kind of shit. But I think I don't know. I think it fits into any and every concept. I think like even in religion, there's like place for that kind of thought. to add that I mean, even there has to have been something intervening, like people that believe in God, for example, could they have to that thought God played a part in doing the pyramids. There has to be something. There's just no damn way the humans did this shit on our own.
I will say it would freak me out to meet an alien. Like I
Oh,
would have
yeah.
to be
Oh my God, yeah.
really, like comatose on something, man. Like yeah, just to meet an extraterrestrial is too freaky for me to even comprehend.
Hey, so you've seen like the drawings and shit, the videos of aliens, like in Carlsbad, or not Carlsbad, that place in New Mexico, Roswell.
Yeah.
One thing I've always wondered about that, every time anybody recollects an alien and they say, oh, this drawing is exactly how I saw it, or here's a video of an alien, they never have any genitals. And it's always bothered me because I would think that, you would think, like, that would probably be the first thing I'd notice if someone was naked. If someone's naked in front of me, hairless, I'm probably going to take a peek at the genitals, like, upon meeting them.
Man, that makes me think of a SNL skit where, like, I forget what's her name. It's the blonde lesbian that's on there, and she's like talking about encountering an alien life form and how they're like touching their genitals and stuff. Man, that's my first thought though with her.
Yeah, but I swear, everybody that swears they've seen an alien, every recollection, every drawing of this is exactly what I saw, they never have any genitals, never ever. Like it's just smooth. And then Moose had a great idea. He thought that they like reproduced by just like touching fingers, and he thought that they were like super advanced, like maybe.
Yeah, I don't. That's a weird thought. That's just like no genitals.
Right? Or do you think they're so advanced they learned how to just clone? Like, imagine if we could just clone ourselves, and eventually, through evolution, humans stop having genitals because we quit using them to reproduce.
Maybe because they're telepathic, so maybe they sweat it out.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Oh, you mean like kind of like in like a thinking plane, how they're able to communicate? Yeah, like that's where they have their intercourse.
They just think, and that's how they like. It just sweats out. Right?
That'd be a crazy thought. Imagine like if we all lived into the same like imaginary plane like that. Like you could just send thoughts to somebody. You could like have virtual sex and get someone pregnant. The next time that'd be scary. You're walking on the street looking like, wow, that person looks good.
How do they birth though? How do aliens birth?
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like you never see a butt crack either. I mean, like you don't see anything on these aliens. They're just smooth.
They do have mouths though, right? Like
I think, yeah. In the pictures I've seen, they have mouths and eyes.
Snakes. Maybe they're like snakes. They just everything comes out of one hole.
Maybe Moose was onto something with the fingers.
I don't know, man. Hey, speaking of where you're at, I don't want to dox anything, but I'm very curious because we are fellow Texans, right? And I'm on the east side, the northeast side of Texas, so I'm in what I like to call the triangle. So you got Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and then Houston. What's it like growing up in the I don't want to say it, but I'll if you're cool with it, I'll say it.
Yeah, I live in El Paso.
Yeah, so what's it like growing? Because I mean, it's a desert community.
Yeah,
it's pretty much away from everywhere. You're right next to the border. I mean, what's it like?
So I didn't grow up in this area, but I also did grow up in this area. It's kind of tough to explain. I lived my childhood through teenhood in a much smaller community somewhere near El Paso, but not close enough to where I'd say I'm from here. And but the vibes are the same. It's close enough to Mexico that you get a lot of like culture shock when you leave the area, because I grew up in a place where in my community I was a majority as a Hispanic man. And of course in the city I wasn't, but in my community. So you leave that and you're not used to a lot of the shit that comes with it. You're not used to to being able to have to speak perfect English, because you're speaking Spanglish. You don't have to sound professional. Like the high-end jobs where I grew up, businessmen and shit, that don't have great English because you're speaking both. So that's one of the first things that's way different, is everybody knows decent enough English and Spanish rather than really fancy English. I noticed the values are really, really different. Because in Hispanic culture, it's usually like a family over everything kind of deal. That's why a lot of, families, even though they could separate, all live together and shit. It's like, oh, I don't want to leave my mom behind, or I don't want to leave. A lot of that. Aside from that, though, it's practically the same as everywhere else. Because I've also lived in Austin. I've been around. I've been to Boston a lot. I've been around the nation. And other than that, it's about the same. It's about the same, but you get a lot of the Mexican influence. Like even the people that weren't Mexican. Like one of my best friends was Indian. He knew Spanish, and then all the white people knew Spanish, and it's just everybody speaks it.
It's cool. Yeah, from an outside point of view, and just visiting the town for business. I mean, it's a very. It makes me think like just what life is like, kind of like in a desert environment. And it's just I come from in the DFW area with a huge city, massive population.
Gotcha.
I'm always curious what it's like for. I mean, because to think about it, it's a small town relative to where it's at, and for the size that it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think we're sitting at 600,000 right now, people.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but that's just the documented people, of course. There's a lot of people that commute from Juarez to work. Yeah. There's a lot of people that aren't documented. So I'd say the true number is closer to about 700,000. And then you if you factor in the commuters, there's actually a big issue here because there's a lot of people that commute from Juarez. They have their working visas, and they don't count towards the population. And I-10 needs like another lane because there's big time traffic jams every single day. Because there's so many people hitting it, but the city can't justify it because the population doesn't call for it. But they're not able to factor in the people that live in Juarez that legally commute for work with a visa every day, but don't actually reside in El Paso. Mm-hmm. So that kind of sucks. But I mean, aside from that, it's been growing like crazy. That's the thing. I think when I moved here, there was 500,000 people. Now we're at 600,000. And when I say I also did grow up here, I moved here as kind of at that age where you're trying to transition from wilding out to getting your shit together.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of my adult growing up here. I did my child growing up in my hometown, then did like the next step where okay, it's time to quit doing this shit growing up in El Paso.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting, man.
So, there was a question I had a while back that I've asked everybody, and I forget to ask all the guests. It's a simple question that can tell me everything I need to know about your personality. So, you've been to movie theaters or a ball game, anything where you have to shuffle in front of somebody that's seated. When you do that, do you give them your ass or do you give them your crotch? Someone's sitting down in front of you like this, and you have to you have to shuffle like this in front of them. Like what body part are you giving them? What are you showing them?
So I think I would probably do dick forward, but okay. I think I have to think about it sometimes because I don't want them smelling if I have a stinky bottom.
Okay, I got you.
Proper white. It's a high.
We've all been there.
I don't want them. I don't want them to smell my ass sweat. So I'd rather give them the dick forward kind of deal.
I do that too. And my reason is there's like a double-sided. First thing, I believe that situations are only awkward if you don't address them. Usually if I have to shuffle in front of someone, I'll just say, hey, how's it going or something. Or yeah, so excuse me, don't mind me. Or let me just get past you real quick. You talk. When if you're giving them ass and talking, then it's extra weird. So while I'm shuffling in front of them, I'm usually giving like a small greeting. And then also I don't want, I want to be able to see everybody that is facing me. I don't know. I have a thing like my desk is positioned where I see every door. My bed and my bedroom is positioned where I can see everything. I don't like the concept of someone's back there, someone's right here behind me.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's a safety issue kind of deal. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it never gets awkward for me because, like I said, I always will just say, "Hey, my bad, man. Had to go take a piss or something." Like while I'm shuffling in front of him, or "Excuse me, don't mind me. Hope you enjoy the movie."
Yeah.
Or how about the Rangers, huh? While I'm shuffling by, if they're like just some sort of small talk.
Yeah.
Because I am a Rangers fan, unfortunately. But
yeah, I'm. It depends of the year, kind of deal for me.
I still haven't recovered from Nelson Cruz not catching that fly ball to win the World Series.
To this day, man, I remember screaming, and my mom came into the room just trying to calm me down. I just, yeah, I don't. But for me, the bigger sports memory is the Dez catch. That's
heartbreaking because it was such a catch.
It was, and the thing is, you had 4 minutes left on the clock. I can remember all the aspects of it. I remember the official that even overturned the call. His name's Dean Blandino. He's a piece of shit. There's so many things that, and you know, growing up in Dallas, I obviously, I think it's pretty well known in here that I'm a die-hard Cowboys fan. Just to the bone, man. It was funny, me and my mom were coming back from Thanksgiving, and she was talking about it, and she brought up the Cowboys, and I just like overwhelmed with emotion because all I want, you know, I was born when they won those Super Bowls back in the 90s, so I was so young that I was a little baby, basically couldn't remember, but I want to know what it felt like for my dad to see his team win a Super Bowl,
right?
At his age, and just like he was around the same age that he had me, so it just, that's what I want to know, what it feels like. And to be honest, I'm not afraid to say it. I'd cry like a baby if they won a Super Bowl.
I think I would too.
I would cry. Absolutely, I would break down crying. I'd be that happy.
Yeah,
even like thinking about it, man, makes me.
When the Mavericks won the NBA Finals, me and my dad were running around screaming, crying.
Yeah.
It was a huge deal because we hadn't seen Dallas win shit since the Stars in like 1999 or some shit.
Yeah. And so growing up, there was a kid across the street from me. His dad worked as some manager for the Mavericks, but when they were playing, and you know, they had like 2 or 3 series when they played the Heat in the finals. Well, one of those series, the trophy stayed when it was in town. The trophy stayed at his house, so I actually have a picture of holding.
That's badass.
The trophy. It's crazy, man.
That's one of the heaviest trophies because I think what they accomplished that season is just nothing short of extraordinary. I always consider Dirk's ring one of the heaviest rings just because of who he went through and who he did it with.
Oh, he's beloved here, man. I mean, he
got the key to the city. I saw the ceremony. Yeah.
He's got a street named after him. He's got the statue out front of AAC. I mean, he's got so much. And to be honest, the thing that he kept private for most of his career was he would do visits during Christmas, during the holidays, to the St. Jude's Hospital.
Nice.
Downtown. So all the kids, he would go there and actually talk to them. And he never told anybody for his entire career. But it came out, I think through an interview or something, on the last season that he played and the last couple games. So just a human being that is larger than life, man.
Yeah, and definitely Mr. Dallas. I mean, spent every season there, dominated, except for like the last couple, but it's because he was old. I mean, it wasn't his game anymore, and he still did well, but he wasn't the dominant for like in the mid 2000s to like mid 2010s. Like he was a absolute machine. I think everybody was worried to play him because he could shoot the 3, he could drive and then shoot the unguardable fadeaway. There was just no way to protect. There was just no way to protect the rim against him. And on top of all that, he was 7 feet tall. So what do you do? What can you do?
Exactly, man. He's just a beloved figure. Yeah, I think the Mount Rushmore of Dallas is like Dirk, Madonna, Aikman, those triplets, Aikman, Smith, and then Irvin. You can't get better. I'm sorry to say that there's no.
I might be tempted at those. I might be tempted at those Staubach on that too.
Yeah, Captain America. You might, for the Rangers, you might be able to throw up what's his name, Nolan Ryan.
That's true.
Yeah, because of that legendary moment where you're just beating the shit out of that guy.
That guy regretted that shit. See, I don't know what he was thinking. I think he was charging and not expecting to actually fight. You know, I think he was charging and expecting to like get in a little push war and have the benches clear and everyone just pushing. I don't think he expected to be put in a headlock and get the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, by an old man, like he's half his age, and he just didn't expect it.
Because like the way he went into, he like if you're gonna charge somebody, you gotta go in swinging. You don't go in and let them just swing at you. You don't go in and like duck your head like a bull. You know, I don't know what he was thinking. I think he didn't know that Nolan was about that life and thought that I'm just gonna go scare the shit out of this old timer, and got his ass beat. Got his ass beat.
Yeah, he's a treasure, man. And there's a station in Dallas, a radio station. It's very popular. It's called The Ticket. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I've heard it.
It is extremely popular. I love it to death. It's I've got to pick games with their award-winning show in the morning with them before, and they tell a story about the time Nolan Ryan. They have a monkey enclosure in South Texas. It's a snow monkey enclosure. And so he goes down there and he tells this story about how he's basically become the snow monkey ambassador, and how the snow monkeys will basically listen to him. And yeah, anyways, I'll send it to you off there, and you can listen to it. But I love The Ticket.
Have you ever seen videos of just people that own pet monkeys? For some reason on TikTok, I am getting a lot of those. And I gotta say, it seems absolutely horrifying to own a monkey.
Yeah, you want to hear something funny? Is there's an assistant coach at UT who left his family to marry a stripper, and the stripper owns a monkey. And it actually, during Halloween, there was somebody that walked into the backyard to the monkey enclosure, and the monkey like bit him or scratched him or something.
Yeah, dude, because see, the videos I watch, what scares me is how smart they are. First, they're really smart, and that they have like, they can comprehend picking things up and throwing shit. Like the videos I see, the video I seen, a monkey, it's trying to eat the wax like decorative fruits. It picks it up and is eating it, and they're like, "Hey, no, that's." They're like talking to the monkey, like, "No, that's not food, that's wax." And the monkey like just turns and screams at him, and then throws the apple and hits the lady in the face. And I'm like, dude, like imagine when you're trying to take something from your dog, if it could stand up, square you up, and throw shit at you. That'd be horrifying.
Yeah, I won't fuck with any monkey. And it doesn't matter the size of the monkey.
I don't want one. I don't want one. I think they're great. I like them. They're funny if watching videos, but that would be scary as hell. Imagine it's pissed off at you. You know, your dog's pissed off at you. It'll forgive you in the morning. A monkey is gonna be plotting on you. It's gonna be waiting till you're asleep, smacking you in the face and shit.
Dude, do you have any phobias of any animals? Because one I have, I'm traumatized that I can't even like look at the TV if they're on there, is snakes. I can't do it.
Oh man, I love snakes. I love them.
I go ballistic, man. I can't even. It's just
I will say I don't have a phobia of spiders, but they make me uncomfortable. Like I don't like to kill them because I don't want to go and be close. Like if there's one in the house, I'll usually just try to relocate it with a dustpan. I'll put it in the dustpan and throw its ass outside and be like, I evict. But like if I had to kill a spider, I could. But like if there was a tarantula, I'd probably like freeze for a moment, then like kind of like back away and have to regain composure and shit. But it's not like a phobia like I know with the people with phobia, like you said, you can't see them on TVs and shit. So like yeah, I can like look at them. I think that I'd be able to have a tarantula crawl on me, but in the wild, I get like a half panic. It's like a half panic. So I guess I'm just scared of them. I wouldn't say it's a phobia though.
I get nightmares a couple times a year of the snakes chasing me.
Holy shit.
It's gone on for my whole life. Every couple times a year, I'll wake up just all in sweat. You know, thought I pissed myself, but it's really just sweat coming out. Just of snakes chasing me. It stems back from an event that happened. I know why. It stems back from when my mom and dad went on vacation and they left me at my grandmother's house, and me and my sister were swimming around in the lake, and all of a sudden I feel this thing rush on the back of my head. So I turn around and a fucking snake's just like right there in my face. So I'm
Jesus.
just like, and then my grandparents are freaking out, so I'm trying to swim over to them, and then I'm there's a walkway to the dock. I'm trying to pull myself up, and my grandfather's trying to pull me up, but he's too old and too weak to pull me up, so I have to
Oh
swim out
shit.
of the dock. And for the rest of the week, I didn't get in the lake. And then my grandmother's sister lived right next door to her, and she got fed up with my shit apparently of not wanting to get in the lake. So one morning she made me get up, go into the lake, and shower, basically bathe in the lake. And that's how I got back in there. But to this day, man, I fucking can't do it. I can't even fucking stand snakes, man.
That's a valid reason.
Yeah.
One thing to rest assured, I think I've told you, one of my very first jobs was working at a Chevron, or was it Exxon? It was one of those, and I was the stalker. You know, I'd stalk the stuff. I'd the bee destroyer. So, you know, you get a shit like I grew up in like a yeehaw type environment, so you know, it's like out in the desert and shit. So whenever the bees would start building their honeycomb shit, I was Fred before Fred. I'd have to, like, you know, cut that out and relocate it, and you get a lot of snakes that would come and lay on the pavement in the winter to warm up, or in the summer to cool down. And it was my job to like deal with them. And you can rest assured that snakes are absolutely terrified of you. Like, snakes shit themselves when they see you. And they would literally rather die than to have to take you on. Like, them shaking their rattle and shit, like rattlesnakes, when they're shaking their rattle, that's like them like begging you, please just fucking leave me alone. That's really what they're saying. And so that luckily you're afraid of something that is likely never to aggro you. It suck being like afraid of something like a wolf or something. Because if you ever see a wolf, it's probably coming for your ass. Or being afraid of a lion or a bear. Thankfully, the thing that your phobia is of, if you ever see one in real life, if you just back away, he's gonna be thanking you.
Yeah, no, there's too many times that I've crossed one and I've been like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, and same thing, they take a real live and let live situation. Because snakes, the only thing they're willing to attack is something they think they can eat. They work similar, their brain works similar to like big cats, where if they don't think it's food, they just have no interest in it. They don't want to fight it. They don't want to mess with it. They just want it to go the other way.
Speaking of animals, man, during Thanksgiving, I saw so many, damn it.
Turduckens.
They eat flesh. Come on,
maggots.
Vultures.
People were eating vultures?
No, they vultures
okay.
eat dead animals. And
Uh-huh.
I saw a bunch of them, like more than I've ever seen before. And I was throwing out the turkey bones at my grandma's, and the fucking dude, I heard one that just started waving its fucking wings around. It scared the fucking shit out of me, dude, because it's just out in the woods, and all of a sudden this fucking thing just.
You ever just play dead to see if they come try to eat you?
Hell no, I ain't fucking with no vulture.
At the golf course, I've done that before. You'll see, because you see them flying in like the circles. Me and my friend were just laid there on the floor, and we're seeing if they get closer. And their circle that they were circling eventually came to right above us, where they were circling like to see if we were dead.
No. Nope. When I was getting off the highway off 35 and off to the country roads, there was a house over to our right, and there were 40, and I kid you not, about 40 fucking vultures all just right around this house.
You don't think you could take a vulture?
Nope, not fucking with one.
How big is a vulture? It's like the size of a dog, isn't it?
They're bigger than the owl.
But owl's like what? Owl's like what? This big? Owl's about that big?
Dude, with the wingspan?
Yeah, but those are just wings. What's it gonna do with his wings?
Vultures are like, dude, vultures gotta be like a meter high. So it's probably
you think a vulture's like 3 feet tall?
Oh, dude, I swear. Put it on. Look it up.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that real quick. Let me do that real quick.
Dude, vultures are big, bro.
Let's see.
I would not fucking go vulture.
Average size.
Put that on the B tier. That goes on to your fucking your tier list. Vultures need to go on there. Vultures are fucking vicious, man.
No, okay, you're right. They're about 1 meter long and but they only weigh 27 pounds. I've had dogs weigh more than that.
They're a fucking vulture, bro. They'll
Dude,
fuck you up.
vulture just looks like a giant chicken though.
No, it's not a giant chicken, man.
Watch.
It's not.
I'll show you. Let me put it on the big screen so you can see.
We need to tier list this thing. Vultures, fucking scary as shit. They'll eat your ass.
I don't think they will. See, you see the vulture. Look at.
Hell no.
That's just a big chicken with no nutsack on his chin.
Dude, that vulture will fuck you up, bro. You don't even know it's coming. It's going like fucking airplane. It's dive bombing down.
Vultures don't even kill stuff. They just eat stuff that already died.
So, say you're taking a nap out on your lawn.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna let it start picking me. I was gonna pretend I was dead, and when it came down, capture it or something.
Well, what I'm saying is they're dangerous. Say you're at the beach or you're out in the desert or something, taking a nap and you're getting some sunshade. All of a sudden, fucking thing comes by. It starts picking out your fucking eyes.
I think I could take a vulture. One of them. I think I could take one of them. Now, if they're like, if I'm prepared for a fight, yes. Like if you put us in an arena and say fight to the death, I think I'm walking out alive and we're having vulture for dinner.
Okay, I think in an arena environment, yes. Is that what your tier list is based on? Is like you're inside a cage and to the Thunderbird
kinda. I pictured like a coliseum. I pictured a coliseum, and the premise of it was that I am completely naked because somebody brought up the concept that I could like rip off my shirt and make like a noose or something, or make like a whip or make some form of weapon. And so we had to agree that that I'd have to be completely naked against an animal, completely naked, no tools in the area. And I think I forgot what we said the floor was. I think we said the floor was like
just sand or dirt.
Something like dirt, like just regular dirt. I think I wanted to do pavement, but then they said that puts me at an advantage for taller animals because if they fall and not hit their head, they could die immediately.
Are you barefoot in this scenario?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely naked. Like because they said that the shoes would add an unfair advantage to the animal. Because then I can step on toes and shit, break feet.
I don't think you realize like animals. They're fearless, basically. Like they'll fight to the death. They don't know pain in a fight. So I think your tier list sometimes is a little shaded or jaded.
I think it was pretty good. I mean,
I don't know, man.
When I revisit it, it looks a lot like the only one anyone ever disagrees on is the giraffe. But I use equations and shit to figure the giraffe's range of motion.
Well, I think you take out an ankle on the giraffe, you fucked it up. I mean, dude, you had 3 giraffes in like 2 years die in the Dallas Zoo.
Let me see, they're dying on their own. Maybe I could just hide and it'll die eventually.
Yeah, we had a little orphaned one die like 3 months ago.
They're just mutated horses, right? They look like the same style of creature.
If you could get stoned with any animal and the animal can communicate, what animal would it be? For me, I'm chilling with an orangutan, man. As long as I know that we're just straight up chilling and we're passing the joint back and forth, eating some bananas, I'm chilling with an orangutan.
That's a damn good question, dude. I'd want something that's smart, because like I don't want to smoke with like a deer or something and they're just dumb as hell talking about good leaves and shit to eat. Dude, I hate to say it, but I think mine would be a similar pick, like maybe like a gorilla.
I think a gorilla would be one. Okay, let's take the apes out because I think
because they're just so smart. They're just so smart and developed. It's just
humans. We resemble them and stuff. So, let's go non-ape.
Non-ape. I think.
Non-ape.
Honestly, I feel like communicating with an elephant. I think an elephant, because they live a long time, so they've seen some shit. They're notably super intelligent, and they're like going endangered and shit. So they must definitely have some stories. Like I don't know, and then just to be that big, like I wonder where their instincts fit into being the largest creature, although they're not a predator.
Yeah. I think for me it'd be a chameleon. I think because
a chameleon?
Yeah, he'd be tripping out just with his eyes looking all over the place. I think he got some stories. I think he's been through some shit that he would like just to let it out, let it breathe, man.
If you had a pet, would you want it to talk to you?
Oh man, yeah, probably for me because I'm single. I would probably want a pet that could communicate with me.
I've always said no to this question, and only because imagine how heartbroken you'd be if like the first time your dog or cat talks to you, they say, "Oh, you understand me? Do you think you could help me find my parents? I was separated from them as a child."
No.
Like imagine I've been trapped here for so long. Do you think you could help me? Like imagine how heartbroken you'd feel. So I'd rather just pretend that my cat forgot its parents.
Dude, that is awful. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, poor dogs and cats out there, man.
Yep.
Poor animals that are pets. Jeez.
So I've always said no, I would not talk to my pet because
You ruined it for me. I've never thought about that before. Now you've ruined ever owning a pet for me. Jesus.
I think they forget though. I think like scientifically they I don't think their brains are intelligent enough to like I think they have like fleeting memories, but I don't think they have like recollection of I was raised by this and blah blah blah. I think they see you as their parent eventually.
Or their trusting partner or whatever.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think dogs would see you as a parent and cats kind of see you as a roommate.
So I grew up in a house full sorry, I gotta fucking turn this off. Fucking sports and shit. What's the most amount of pets you've been around in a household? Because for me, at one point, my mom and dad had 2 birds, and six dogs, excuse me.
Wow, that sounds like my best friend.
We had 3 dachshunds, a Yorkie, a Chihuahua, a Terrier mix, and then a collie. What do they call them? Collie dogs or whatever. I can't think of it.
No, the border collies.
Yeah, border collies. Thank you.
Nice. I have had at one point 3 dogs and a cat, so 4. 4 is the most pets I've ever had at once, and that was when I lived with my dad. We had a Siberian Husky. Her name was Star. She was great. We had a half Bazinji, half Red Heeler.
Bazinji?
Yeah, Bazinji. It's like it's some weird. They don't even know how to bark. They yodel. They're hilarious. And his name was Hank.
Hank?
Yeah. Then we had an indoor poodle. Name was Ziggy.
Was it a? Oh, dude, those are cute. They're like a skinny Shiba.
Yeah, kinda. And then he was half red heeler too, so he looked kind of mean though. He had like the features of the Bazinji, and then also looked kind of mean with the red heeler in him.
They're cute, man. Those are cute looking little puppies, man.
That's the funniest thing about them too, is that they don't bark. They just yodel.
Oh.
like Hank, whenever he'd see someone, it wasn't like whoa, whoa, whoa. It was oh whoa 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 whoa. He would do that. That was almost exactly how it sounded.
Yeah.
And everybody would like, what the hell is that? And on the other side of that fence.
The Yorkie my mom and dad have is still alive, and I swear that thing it yaps. It's all the time. I fucking can't stand it. When I lived with them, towards the end of me living with them, I would wake up for construction jobs. I would wake up at like 11, 1 in the morning and drive out to the job sites. And I'd come back early afternoon or around lunchtime. And man, I had to move out. I couldn't stand living there because we had a doggy door, or they have a doggy door. And so I would try to get some sleep in the early afternoon. But I couldn't. I'd always wake up like an hour, 30 minutes in, because one of those fucking dogs would go out there, start barking at something, and then it's like a chain reaction, right? You know, they all go out there and start barking.
Yep. Do you ever forget your key and have to try to get into the doggy door?
I have. Well, I can. I'm big enough to where I can reach up. And
okay, nice.
And do that. So, but no, I've never done that.
I don't think I've ever at any point in my life, aside from childhood, been small enough to fit through one anyways.
Yeah, I was probably at some point. I definitely crawled through there. I'll tell you what, one of my favorite dogs is what my sister has now. It's a blue tick healer.
Oh no,
It's
yeah, I've seen those.
it's a bigger dog, and I couldn't own one because it's too big for me. But uh, it gets confused every now and then because my brother-in-law is also a bald white guy like me, and he's got the same height and same build. So sometimes, like, I remember the first time I met it. Where my brother-in-law comes to the door, and then the dog just like seriously, like it like stops right in his tracks, and he just can't figure it out. He's just like looking back and forth for a couple minutes, like, the fuck is this guy? There's two of you? Can't figure it out.
Dog's tripping.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm interested to see how the dog is with. My sister's having a baby in January, so I'm interested to
wow.
see.
Right around the corner.
What was funny is, I don't know if I told you this. What was funny is, I got a bigger belly, right? I'm not ashamed. I got it. I like food. I like drinks. I like to be lazy, right? So she sends me a picture of her like doing, baby pose to the side, pull up the shirt, show the baby belly, right? And I text her back. I go, mine's bigger.
You got to get on top of that TikTok trend. Do you ever watch TikToks?
Not big with TikTok. No.
Hey, well, first you should download it. It's
Okay.
a lot of people think that it's like just kids dancing and stupid shit like that, and that's like it is if you allow that to happen to you.
Mhm.
But usually it caters to what you want to see.
Yeah.
So like if you're like wanting to see ass shaking and stuff, you'll see that. If you're wanting to see dog videos, you'll see that. It caters to you really well. Like I can scroll through TikTok for an hour and only see maybe like 5 videos I didn't care for.
I
But
would think the YouTube Shorts do something like
yeah,
that.
very similar. Very similar. That it caters to you. I think they all run the same algorithm actually.
Mhm.
But anyways, the trend right now is there's like a ring, the ring lights. There's just like a circle light like this. So the trend right now is that there's this song that plays and it's somebody holding one that's off and they're in the like a well lit area and they're fully clothed. And then the lights cut out and they turn on the ring light and they're like usually in underwear. But like the ring light is showing just enough to where you can tell they're in underwear, but you don't see everything. It's like almost like a silhouette. But what a lot of guys are doing that's absolutely hilarious, they're using the same audio, so you think it's that trend and they're showing themselves holding the ring light, but then it cuts to them opening the fridge and sticking out their gut as much as possible. And I think it's great. Like I love it when I see those. Like that cracks me up every time. You should try one of those.
One of my favorite, I don't know if they do it on TikTok. I'm assuming they do. I don't know the song exactly, but it goes along the lines of "My heart beats at the something the drum," and then somebody like they do the.
Yeah.
That's what I love those. I can watch those for hours, man. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
There's some good stuff on TikTok, man.
Whoever thought we would have gotten here with that in our world? Like, what do you think George Washington and all of our fathers down their former fathers?
Founding fathers.
Founding fathers, yeah. What do you think that if they were to come to 2020? What do you think they would say about all of our technology and their things? Do they think it's stupid, or they just kind of dumbfounded and just stare like looking at it like a dog with his head going back and forth trying to figure it out?
I think dumbfounded because I grew up in an area without a lot of technology, and when I moved to Austin for college, everything was super advanced and I was like dumbfounded. You know what I mean? In the modern age, because like I had a cheap cell phone. We had, of course, internet and shit, but we didn't have high level computers. I had never seen a code in my life. And just being introduced to that. Like, just imagine it this way. Like, imagine, like, do you know a lot about rocket science?
Oh, not very much.
So, like, imagine sitting in on a meeting with NASA's greatest engineers. Like, imagine you just teleport in there and are hearing them talk about this advanced technology and all these crazy formulas that you have no idea about. I'd imagine they'd be in a similar position where they have absolutely zero clue how this works. They have zero clue what people are talking about. They're just like, okay, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Like they need like a short summary. Like it'd need to be something like, hey, you remember the newspapers? Remember how we used to print them and do this? Well, now somebody can do that, but put it on this device for everybody.
On this device.
Yeah. So now instead of reading through a newspaper, you just go to this and type what you want to read about. Like, oh, I wonder what's happening in Boston right now. You can type in
Hell,
Boston
you
News.
can do that now. You can just listen to it or watch it.
Yeah. So I think it would have to be like they'd be dumbfounded, and you'd have to like put it in the most basic form possible. It's like teaching someone really old how to use stuff. I had such a hard time teaching my grandma how to use a cell phone, like a touchscreen phone. You won't even believe how hard it was to get her to comprehend. All you do is touch the contacts, scroll. Look, here's everybody's name. Here's everybody's name. Just scroll, and when you see someone you want to call, you just click their name and click call. Like, okay, then my sister would call me. Grandma's having trouble with the phone. Do you think you can come over and see if you can if it help her?
Oh man, jeez, yeah. My grandma has been pretty good with technology, although she's got 3 computers, and I don't understand why she's got 3. She's got a desktop. She's got a desktop that she doesn't even use, and then she's got this portable laptop that sits in the kitchen. And then she's got one that just sits in the corner, and I don't know what that one's all about. So
that just seems like a flex. So anybody that comes in, like, hey, I got 3 computers.
She, yeah, I mean, dude, she's a wild one.
I gotta admit though, I have 4 computers, but for practical reasons. I have my one sitting over here that I use for gaming.
Work ones and
yeah, see, like so, like, but that's more practical. I'm sure you have like your separate work computer, then you have a personal computer.
Yeah.
See, so I have my personal computer right here. I have 2 work computers because my girlfriend uses the other, and then I have an old laptop that I used for streaming and shit before I had this computer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a lot less far-fetched than your grandma's situation that has 3 and would you say 2 that are not used?
She got 2 laptops, one she uses.
And then a desktop that just untouched.
I'm pretty sure that thing hadn't been turned on in like the past 5 years. For me, I've got 3. One is the work one. One's a laptop that I bought before I moved to Houston for a year, and then I've got the desktop that you always hear me talking to you on.
Nice.
So I built this baby, and it's so weird, you know, like, and I'm sure you're similar to this. Like, I loved building it. I love.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
It's to explain it to other people, like, it's like old men with cars.
Yeah.
Like classic cars, like they love to upkeep them. They love to make them pretty. Like, I just like getting in the guts and tearing stuff apart in my computer.
In more way than I was about to say, more things in a computer too.
Yeah, it's just I've replaced in the past year. I've replaced 2 things. I got another solid state drive, and then I replaced the power to it. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. Maintaining a computer is a lot more interesting to me, and it goes back to the beginning of this deal. Like I told you about, like, just technology, and it's just new things that we find out in science is like arousing to me. And
yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
it was for me. My computer, it was just like Legos to me. Like it was like adult Legos. That's the way I kind of saw it, because I thought, like, before I'd ever touched it, I thought this is gonna be so hard. This is gonna be such a mess. And then when all the parts came in, I'm like, oh, this isn't a ton of parts. Like, like literally built it with just a screwdriver. Like, I'm like, okay, perfect.
Yeah. I don't know how it was for you, but it was also a learning process when I built this first rig. Was how I want the airflow to
yes, and cable management, and
where I'm gonna put the cables. How am I gonna stack everything out to have an optimized for all the beats? It's just, and it was probably a week or 2 before I got everything perfectly aligned.
That's how I was, because I'd have it, and then I'd be looking at it and be like, nah, this could be better if I do this. Then start again, and then like, I don't know, I don't like how that wire sticks out. Let's try this, and you just keep going, and then eventually you just
for fan to try to cool this thing down. You know, I want 2 intake areas for the air.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely an engineering process for sure, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you said you went to school in Austin. Are you a UT guy?
Yes. UT
Oh,
Austin.
really?
Yep.
Well, congratulations, man. I had no idea. I didn't know you were a Longhorn, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I was, and unfortunately, they started sucking at football the year I went. They were great. They were great every year before I went, and they were bad. And I leave, and then they get decent again. And then this year, of course, they're kind of a
Did
joke. But
did you go when Mac was still there?
yes,
Okay.
I was at the tail end of that.
Okay. Well, dude, to this day, you want to hear a funny story? Okay, so you remember the Rose Bowl, the
Yes.
Vince Young game?
Oh yeah.
Okay. To this day, I don't tell. I don't think I've ever told anybody this story. So, when I was younger, my dad had a pretty strict bedtime policy.
Uh-huh.
In bed, lights out, 9:30. So
9:30?
January comes, yeah, 9:30. Man.
Holy shit.
He was strict about it. You know, my dad was strict in a lot of ways. We can get into it in a little bit later, but to this day, I remember that Rose Bowl. We did have TVs in our room, and we did have cable in our room. So I can remember being like, "Okay, Dad, going to bed during the Rose Bowl," and I never asked him because my dad was pretty, like I'm saying, my dad was strict. So I didn't ask him if I could stay up later and watch that game because Texas had finally made it. But I'm in bed, and I got the game on, and I turned it down super low so he couldn't hear it from downstairs. So I'm on there, and then all of a sudden, Vince Young did that run.
Yes.
And I guess my dad had either checked the crack and saw that the TV was on in my room, or was in the next room, and he wanted to come get me because how often is this going to happen, right?
Right.
So the part that it's cringe to me is I used to sleep in the nude.
Okay.
So I am on the edge of my bed, butt ass naked.
You got the balls out watching some football.
Junk is straight out to and the door is right in front of me. The door is literally right in front of me. And so he makes it, and I probably made a little bit more noise because I'm like, yes, Texas did it. And all of a sudden, my dad opens the door. He goes, "How about them?" And my balls and just jumping right in his face. Just right in his face, man.
Oh no.
And then so I'm quickly putting the sheets over. He goes, "How about the Longhorns?" And then kind of like just quietly turned around. Close the door. I have never brought it up to him. I have never told. This is the first time I've actually told somebody about it.
And he just played it off like he didn't see your balls, or what?
He just kind of turned around. He turned at the TV, turned around, and went out the door and shut the door behind him. Didn't tell me to turn off the TV or anything. Just looked at the TV, kind of like, "Oh, okay."
That is crazy. Because I couldn't imagine. Let me tell you, I couldn't imagine my dad seeing me naked. That sounds like my worst nightmare, actually.
Yeah, it was one of the. There are certain sporting events I can remember exactly where I was and what I was doing and what I was wearing and the smells, the time, etc. And that game, the Des game, and then the Boise game versus OU. There's a couple other ones. But did you play any sports when you were in high school?
Yes, I played American football. I played baseball and golf. Baseball being my favorite sport.
I wouldn't have taken you as a golfer.
I love golf. I was actually really good at it. I went to state in it. I think what did me really good is the mental aspect of golf. I am not intelligent enough to panic. So I don't like some people are like, "Oh, okay, the wind's doing this, blah, blah, blah." And like they kind of overthink it and then choke their shot because they have all this shit on their mind. I'll literally say, "Wind's going this way. I'm aiming that way." done this repetitive motion 10,000 times this week, and then rip it. I don't think I'm smart enough to have issues that other golfers have where they overthink. I don't think I'm smart enough for that.
What's the best you've ever shot? I mean, I still can't break 100.
I've at the day one of the regional qualifiers, I shot a 71. I went 1 under. And then this day 2, I shot a 74. And
I
that,
can't believe it. I would have never taken you as a good golfer, bro.
oh yeah, I'm telling you, it's all mental. Like,
who taught you? Was it your dad or?
My dad's a big time golfer. He like,
really?
Oh, big time golfer. He golfs every weekend. He's golfed every weekend and tries to go during the week if he's not working. And he's been doing that since I was like born. He goes every weekend. He's like a average mid-70s golfer.
Wow. Jeez. I would have never taken y'all as the golfing type. Because the reason why I say that is because out there's not many courses.
Oh yeah. Oh no, there was only one golf course where I grew up, and it was this is the only reason I could golf. I know golf is like a rich man's game. There was one golf course, and if you were in high school, they didn't charge you to go to the shooting range.
Oh really?
Shooting range? Yeah. The driving range.
Driving range, yeah.
And then my dad, his best friend from high school, he lived in the same town he graduated high school. He was one of those guys. His best friend owned it, so we just went for free. And then like he would just like, you know, help out with shit, probably donate it on the side. I don't know what their arrangement was. There has to have been more than that, because I doubt that they would just let him golf for free all these years. Yeah. But so we got really good at it.
I learned to play golf, and I'm not very good at Hank Haney. He has a course out in Louisville.
Okay.
I learned that there. That's the same place where I believe it's him that taught Shaq how to improve his game a little bit. Or not Shaq, Charles Barkley.
Oh, okay. Man, that guy needs a lot of help too. Just that swing. he's not a terrible golfer. He just has that messed up swing.
I think it's because of his size, right? It's got to be that.
No, he used to have a normal swing. He says it's like a mental block, like that he started doing it, and it's just like so engraved in him, like it's so habitual that you just can't. Kind of like biting fingernails, you know, like you'll do it without realizing it. And someone will say, "Hey, stop biting your fingernails." And you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're right." Then you forget and you start biting your fingernails again.
What do you think of the? I believe it's DeChambeau that does all of his clubs at the same length.
I had all mine at the same length as well, except for my driver.
It was the same as your irons?
What's that?
Your driver?
Like, no. All my irons are the same length, and then my putter.
No, he has like his driver. His iron, all of it the same height.
I wouldn't do it just because a drive and a wood swing is different than an iron swing. As you know, like with a iron swing, you want to be closer to the ball so you can drive through the ground better, and then a driver you want to kind of be more away. You want to have more extension on it, generating more velocity from having a bigger pendulum. Yeah. So no, I wouldn't do that, because then you're essentially having to have the same swing for both when they're fundamentally different based on what you're trying to do.
For me, I've mostly played football from like pee-wee all the way through high school, and then a couple of years after I played in like a real, you know, what do they call it? It's like a rec league, but we still had pads. So yeah, I played running back or fullback for a little bit, but I really like playing. So I have this saying that if you can't catch a ball, you're on defense.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I can't catch a fucking football, so I love hitting people, so I'm going to defense. So I played linebacker and inside and outside linebacker. So I was all about fucking people up, man. Yep,
I was a center. I was the starting center, because I'm not tall enough to be like a tackle, and I'm not short enough to be a guard. I'm right at 6 foot. So they figured center. They figured we're gonna put you as the brains of the operation. That shit was tough. I had to read like playbooks and shit. I have to like say, hey, there's 4 linemen, this and that. And you know, you have all your codes and shit, so you're speaking in your codes to tell all your other linemen, hey, you go here, you're blocking here. That shit was annoying. That's the only reason I know so much about football, is because I kind of know how to read what people are gonna do, because I played center, and you have to be able to read the entire front line.
To this day, I remember sky, 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 sky.
Yeah,
I
dude.
got this outside. I probably said sky more than any other word in high school. Jesus.
We had. So if I was predicting a blitz, we'd say Mike for, you know, if it was
Yeah.
the mic one, you'd say Mike Oski, and Oski meant blitz, and then you'd have to just say something random afterwards to throw them off. And
Yeah.
if I said Mike Oski, and I think it was, if I said an even number, that means it's for real. It's on. So if it's Mike Oski 3, that means it's not real. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just giving a fake call out so that they don't catch on. If I say Mike Oski 5 or Mike Oski 6, Mike Oski 10, that means there's a blitz coming from the Mike linebacker. And so whoever's Mike's side, whether it's the left guard or right guard, knows, hey, you're not going to help me with the nose guard. You're going straight for that backer.
Yeah. Oh, do you know of Euless Trinity?
Euless Trinity, I have no idea. It sounds
So
holy.
it's so there is a town in DFW called Euless.
Uh-huh.
And Euless Trinity is the high school. Now, the airport is only like 10 minutes away. So for some reason, I've never dug down into it, but there are Tongans that came from that side of the world. There's a community of them.
What is a Tongan?
It's a type of like islander.
Okay.
They're known to be huge. Let's put it that way.
I got you.
Like their average size is like 6'5", 6'4".
Okay. I see what you, I get you.
200 something pounds. But for some reason, they came to Dallas and they all stayed in this certain city called Euless, and a lot of them worked for the airport as luggage guys, driving around, blah blah blah. But they're known to be so big. So Euless Trinity is where these kids keep, you know.
Oh, I got you.
community
So
keeps
they have
coming.
all the
Like,
monsters over there.
They're monsters, dude. I remember we would have to do when we played them. I only played them once, but they would do this thing. I don't know if you've known as a lineman. Basically, when you have a running play and you're tackling guard on one side, go behind the rest of the linemen and charge to try to block and let the running back,
Mhm.
you know, go through that play.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Like
But
it's a pull.
anyways,
A pull.
yeah, and I would have, and when I would see, because the linemen on the other side would block down, so they block towards.
Yeah,
the
you
center,
block down, then the other people pull behind them.
and
Yeah.
then they pull behind them. Yeah, and so I remember every time that I would have to do that, and my coach would just beat it into my fucking brains. Anytime they blocked down, I would have to run towards
The end. You gotta get that. You gotta hit the end. Were you a guard?
Try to crush them.
Were you a guard or a tackle?
I never played lineman.
So you as a defensive, so they were telling you, yeah.
So outside linebacker, I'd have to fucking just start as soon as I saw the lineman go down.
Yep, you gotta crash that shit.
I'd have to crash it, and playing them was because they're so huge. They just manhandled me, man. They would just manhandle me.
Our coach, when in that situation, our coach taught our defensive ends that they said, "Hey, you're it's hopeless for you because they have a running start. They're bigger than you." So what he's taught us to do is, if you see that coming, just dive for the legs. Pretend you're the blocker and chop them, because then you're creating a pile of guys, and it's harder for the running back. So all our defensive end, anytime you saw a pull, he would just full send and just kind of throw himself sideways at the legs. Usually take one out, and you're trying to trip up the tackle behind him, and then.
Yeah, I finally got smart at a certain point and did something similar to where, right before I got to him, I would just get down as low as possible and just hold my arm and just try to crash into him.
Yeah, just anything to try to prevent that tackle from getting ahead and able to get your linebacker. Because that's all your job is to make sure they don't run outside and to make sure that you slow down the tackle that's pulling. Because the guard, you're gonna run into the guard, and he's gonna be pretty fast. The guards are usually much faster than tackles, so that's going to be messy. Then you're just trying to delay the inevitable.
What's interesting is me and my dad are obviously I'm a huge football fan, but we're also big high school playoff.
Oh, okay, I don't know shit about that world.
Oh yeah, I guarantee if you were growing up around this area, Trev, you'd be similar. I mean, I still follow it, and I'm 10 years out of 10, 11 years out of fucking high school. I still follow the game. There's a couple of memories that I have. There was one time when Texas Stadium was still around. Me and my dad got there 2 hours before they even opened, before the game was even going to start. When they opened it up to like let people in, we were standing at the gate while they were opening it up, and along with like 20 other people. So we walk in, and when you were at Texas Stadium, you'd go through these corridors, and on top of the corridor was actual seats. So it's basically on the lower bowl, top of the corridor.
Okay.
So we went there, and we got 50-yard line on Euless Trinity side. And this is, you've got to heard of South Lake, right?
Nope.
No?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that maybe it's the triangle deal, but South Lake's one of the, I mean, they've been great since like the early 90s, like when they were 3A high school team, and now they're like 6A and they still dominate. They're constantly winning state championships. I mean,
yeah, my school wasn't large enough to play against people of that caliber. We were we were a 3A, so
yeah.
So I never really ran into the big names.
Oh, no. Maybe if you grew up around here, you probably.
Yeah, if I was from there, probably.
Yeah, so it was funny enough, it was Euless and South Lake. It was number 1 in the state versus number 2 in the state. And yeah, man, to this day, I can remember for a high school game, remember this for a high school.
Yeah, of course.
And it's not even it's not even the state finals. It's like the quarterfinals or something. The whole bottom ring was filled up.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Up at the top, almost all of that ring was filled up, except for one portion where because I don't know if you remember, Texas Stadium had the opening in the roof so God could watch down on the Cowboys. Well, the sun was shining right where people would have been sitting, but it doesn't matter because all those fucking people, they're down and they're standing on the stairs.
Yeah.
Game, man. Yeah, and
football runs deep in Texas. It really does.
Yeah, man.
It runs really deep in Texas.
It came down the last 3 minutes on a fake punt that didn't turn the game, and yeah, it was over. South Lake won.
Those fake punts, man. It always sucks when it comes down to a gimmick play.
I'll tell you, and this will be the last high school football thing I'll talk about, but Riley Dodge, which was a South Lake, he was the son for the head coach for South Lake. He had one of the most memorable touchdown moments. He was down back at the pocket. He was down. He calls his plays. He throws up right before he gets cut. Throws up like projectile vomit. Throws up. He's down in like on his 40. Takes the ball. Throws up a touchdown. Goes off the field. To this day, I cannot. I'll send you the video of it. He literally projectile vomits. Says hut. Throws a touchdown.
That is disgusting, but I respect that he was able to maintain composure through that shit. I hate to puke, dude. Like I don't know if like some people can puke and they're like good to go. If I'm puking, I'm like disgusted. Like I got a mouthwash and shit. Like I'm not one of those people that like if I'm out drinking, I've been so drunk I've thrown up before. I don't just puke and I'm like, all right, I'm good. That means I can drink more now. I'm like, I want to go home. I want to brush my teeth.
You're not a puke and rally guy.
No, dude. I feel like it's not the like the puking itself doesn't feel weird or whatever. It's just like afterwards I feel gross. Like I attribute it to like mouth shitting yourself. You know, like it's like shitting yourself but from the mouth. So like you have all the vile stomach acid, everything you've eaten, whether it's been fully processed or not, all in your mouth now. And it's like you gotta clean that shit.
Yeah. I've had some ratchet fucking vomit stories that I don't want to get into, but nowadays what'll happen is if I vomit, I'll have burst vessels in my face and head. Like I'll go into work. It happened one time. I went into work like a day or so after, and it takes about a week for them to clear up and go back to normal. But,
bro, how hard do you push the vomit out? Holy shit! You're popping blood vessels?
I think it's something to do with probably some blood stuff and the size of my weight. It just it looks really bad.
You ever have to take a shit so hard that you popped a blood vessel?
I have. I've had.
Okay, I'm so glad you have because I've done that once and nobody else has ever related. But it just wouldn't come out, man. I was pushing way too hard. I probably should have just waited, and I popped a blood vessel in my eye. I had a little red spot up here for the longest time.
Yeah, I had one on the side of my eye. Yeah, it took it was a couple weeks, I think, before.
Yeah, dude. It felt like it took forever. I felt like I had it for a month. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Hemorrhoids be a motherfucker too. Let's not even go down that road.
the damn hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids are when you shit out blood, right?
Yeah, it's like
Is it like a blood jelly ball?
yeah, it's something like that. It basically, I don't even know.
I don't think I've had hemorrhoids. I mean, when I've shit, I've had blood before. But
I've got one, but I don't want to get into details about it. You have to have surgery basically to remove it. And,
shit. So like, how do are they traditionally? Do you just shit them out, and then only the really bad ones you need surgery?
It's like it's in there until you remove it. So think of it like a pimple kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
But it can grow due to how much you're forcing your blood to rush towards that area. So if you're like squeezing too hard, like the blood rushes and inflames it, and then it cracks open, and that's how the blood.
I'm wondering if I've had a hemorrhoid then, because I've shit out a red shit before. Like it was the most shocking thing, and it wasn't. I don't think it was blood because it smelled like shit. Like I didn't have that coppery smell, and the shit itself was entirely red. Like it was a red turd, and I was shocked. I was like, do I need to go to the hospital for this?
So when I ran cross country in middle school, have you ever done this? Had a potassium depletion?
No, never.
So I would, man, when I was in middle school, I'd run cross country, and during about a certain part of my life, I was getting Charlie horses that were like a motherfucker.
Oh, those are fun.
Waking up at like 1 or 2 in the morning, just screaming in pain. And went to the doctor. They told me I had a potassium depletion. So he told me in order to get it back up, you have to eat a bunch of bananas and you have to take potassium pills.
Yeah.
And then, and he said, he didn't tell me at the time, but I was basically shitting out white. The poop was white when it came out of my body.
Damn, you were shitting out that shit that's been out and about for like 10 years. Like when when your dog shits outside and you forget to clean it.
Yeah, no, it was coming out of my body fully white, and it was just because of all the potassium overload. So my body was.
Damn. I've never had white, but I've had strange colors because the only reason I've never had the potassium deficiencies or sodium deficiency or anything like that is because since I played sports my whole life, our coaches every day before practice you had to eat a banana, to take a shot of pickle juice, and eat a mustard packet, and then after practice you had to do the same thing. So I was always like super potassiumed up, super sodiumed up, I guess because they didn't want anybody cramping and shit.
Yeah.
And if you cramped, they'd stretch you, and while they're stretching you, they had one of those Gatorade bottles filled with iced pickle juice, and they force you to drink it the whole time you're being stretched.
Well, what tier do you think pickles are at? Because I would probably put that close to S tier, right? I think pickles are great.
I can't do a pickle by itself, but I think with like, nah, dude, I can't eat pickles by themselves. The vinegary, like, I don't know, it's like a cucumber that hates itself. It's on other shit though, I think pickles are great. Like pickle in a cheeseburger adds the crunch, the sourness. I think it's phenomenal. Fried pickles I think are great because then you have the breading to counteract on that sourness. You have like something savory. But a pickle by itself, I can't do it, man.
I'll even drink the juice. I'll say it.
Maybe, you know what? It could be that. It could be that as a all the way for like 5, 6, 7 years of my life, I was forced to drink pickle juice twice a day for practices. It could be that maybe I just am like, I was forced to. So maybe that's why I don't enjoy it on its own. But I can't do pickles on their own. I'd put them in a cheeseburger S tier by themselves. For me personally, I just can't do it.
Man, I love them.
So I'd probably average it out to a B or a A.
When was the last time you say you ate a pickle just
by itself
as a snack? Yeah.
I tried. See, I'm one of those people that believe in revisiting shit. I sometimes refuse to believe I don't like something, and so every now and then I'll try it and see maybe I'm older, maybe my taste buds have changed. So I bit into a pickle about 6-7 months ago. Just a big ass pickle, bit into it, and was just like, this isn't awful, but I just can't do this. Like I wouldn't eat this.
So let me ask you this: sweet or salty? Which one are you?
If I'm gonna eat a pickle, I'd probably want salty.
No. Just what flavor of food do you like? Sweet or salty?
Probably salty. I'm probably a salty guy.
Let's go sour or sweet.
I'm gonna go sour or sweet. I'm going sweet.
Okay.
But then I don't know. It depends on the sour though. Like vinegar sour, I don't like. But lemons, I eat lemons like apples. I could like grab a lemon and eat the skin of a lemon and everything. Like
the vinegar, I love vinegar so much.
I think that's what it is. The vinegar sour I don't like. But like,
okay.
But like but lemon sour, like citrus sour. I love citrus sour.
Really?
Like yeah, like literally no one ever believes me about the lemons, and then the next time I say, okay, well here, I'll show you. Do you have a lemon? And I'll just eat it like an apple. Not cringe, not nothing. Do it like I've been there before.
I've never done that. I've had, I know I season stuff with lemon, but I've never had a lemon whole.
Oh yeah, I eat the skin and everything.
The skin too?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
No, see, no one ever believes me, and I've made money doing this.
You literally go.
Yeah, I'll get a lemon and I'll just bite into it, eat the whole thing, and literally the only thing I don't eat are the little tip on the ends, the little nipple, the lemon nipples.
I'm calling bullshit on this. I don't believe you.
I'm telling you, you don't have to. But let me see how many what the nutritional content of a lemon is.
Well,
If I can eat a lemon on my diet, I will eat one the next stream.
There's no way. There's no
Lemon
fucking
nutrition
way you
facts.
eat lemon straight up whole. So what about oranges and stuff? Do you eat?
Yeah.
Orange
I eat an orange. I eat orange peel.
What?
Yeah. What?
Bro, what is wrong with you, bro?
Oh, hey, it looks like I could eat a lemon. Hold on a second. I might eat a lemon next stream.
Is that crazy here, or is this like the chat's got to be going crazy? Like, there's no way you eat this shit whole. There's no way.
I do. I'll do it. I'm willing to do it on stream.
If this needs to be shown.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
What's your lady say about this? When you were like chomping down on a lemon right in front of her, what's she saying about this?
She is like tolerant. So I do a lot of weird shit. I don't think people realize just how much of a weirdo I am because I guess because they only know me from the stream, but I do a lot of weird shit. So she's like, whenever I do something like that, she's kind of like, oh, well, okay, there's something to add to the book that he does. And the first time I did it, she was horrified. She looked like
I'm horrified right now.
She was like, I didn't think you would actually do it. She thought I was like trying to like be interesting and stuff. Like I think she thought I was trying to like, hey, I do this. Look at how strange. Look at how different I am. Because I was just hitting on her and we were still talking and I told her about the lemon thing and then I was like, okay, well, here we're at dinner right now and I asked the waiter, hey, could I get some lemon, please? And they brought me like a few slices of lemon. I just popped them on my mouth like a pill, like 5 slices of lemon. I'm like, yeah, and it's delicious. Like, and I'm not like, and she could tell I wasn't forcing myself to do it. Like I was just eating them. Like, it's because the bitterness of the skin mixed with the sweet and some sour and citrusness of the fruit. It's so good.
Bro, you're built differently, bro. I've eaten onions whole, but I've never done.
Onions whole is good too, especially if you fry it, like a onion bloom.
Oh man, those are so good. Oh, I may make one tonight.
Yeah, I am thinking. Look, I'm thinking. Lemons appear to be within my diet, but I don't know if like they're counting the skin.
How's the poop after you eat a lemon?
Same. The only thing that gives me weird shit is strangely enough, if I eat like pure protein for a day and like don't eat any carbs at all. Like if I just eat like let's say I wake up and eat eggs and bacon, and then for lunch I have I don't know, a salad, and for dinner I have steak and asparagus, where I had like practically 0 carbs all day. The next day I'll not shit all day because I guess my body doesn't have carbs to process, and I guess your body does some weird shit when you don't have any carbs in you. And then the next day, I just unleash like a demon when I wake up. I've been late to the stream because I'm just unleashing a demon before.
Unleashing a demon. I love it. I
Dude,
love that.
I've had it so bad that like the toilet wouldn't flush. I had to use a hanger and like start chopping at the shit so that it fit in the toilet.
You need to get yourself one of them snakes, man, where you can just turn it and it.
I have one, but I use that for cable, like for pulling cable. So I'd feel disrespectful. I'd feel disrespectful, bro, putting it in my shit.
Well, get a different one. Buy a second one, man. Just say this one's for poop only.
That's true. I have a label maker too. I have a P-Touch label maker. I gotta put the shit stick or something.
Hey, speaking of your cans, that was the nastiest shit that you showed us yesterday or the day before.
What?
How many cans you had?
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, they're all over them. They're still all over the floor. I didn't clean that shit. They're all over the room. The cat was playing with them.
The cat was playing with them.
Yeah, she'll hit the cans. I mean, and the cat can't drink it because like the way these work. You see how it's like this? You can close them. You can
close them?
Yeah, see, you can reseal them. See? And there's stuff in here, watch. See? Yeah. You can reseal it, and then when you open it again, watch, it's probably gonna fizz now that I shook it. See?
So I don't drink Cokes, like sweets. I'm not a sweet guy.
That's good. I'm glad you don't drink Coke. I would give these up if I could.
I'll have a soda maybe like once every 3 months or so. I
That's
haven't
good.
had a cake in a decade till about 2 or 3 months ago for a coworker, really good coworker. He talked me into having a piece of cake, so I had one.
You could totally get super jacked because you're already cutting out the thing that most people struggle with by cutting out sweets and sodas.
It's just not a like
desire.
Yeah, I don't like sweet taste. Like,
well, that's good.
It, like orange chicken or something like that.
All I'm saying is that if you ever decide you want to get super jacked, you could be like ripped as hell in like 2-3 years, maybe even a year.
Like I used when I was younger, like right out of high school, a couple years of college, I was benching like 340. I was squatting like 6.
Nice.
Or something like that. Yeah, I was a fucking beast. But then I was like, I like beer, and I don't like working out.
Beer is the one that gets you. That's why I tell everybody that thinks they can't give up beer, just try something different. Try a plant-based diet. That's what I always try to tell people.
Yeah, I need to start doing something. Maybe for the New Year's or something. I don't know, man. But that's I can't do it. Sweets for me is just like a nasty. It's just
I'm kind of with you to the extent that my favorite flavor profile is bitter. Like I love black coffee. I love coffee cake. I love
Not a coffee fan.
No.
Nope.
I don't like drinking coffee, but I love like the flavor of it. Like coffee cake is one of my favorite things to eat.
Nope.
As long as it's black coffee. Like I don't like sweetener and shit in it. I love that's probably why I can eat the skins of lemons and shit.
Do you drink coffee in the morning?
Do I drink what?
Coffee in the morning?
No.
Okay.
No, I just drink these. The Game Fuel Zero calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, blah blah blah.
Every morning I usually have 1 or 2 seltzer waters, just plain seltzer water with ice.
Okay.
And that's what I have in the morning. I don't like caffeine, and I'm an anxious person by nature.
Same, which is probably why I don't have nails and shit, because I drink this as well.
Yeah, so like if I get coffee, it's gonna make me get like anxiety and.
I feel you. I feel that 110%. I think caffeine, that anxiety from caffeine, is kind of what keeps me going, because I whenever I drink one of these, like after I end stream for the next 4 hours, I'm gonna feel anxious if I'm not doing something. Like I won't be like, it's the weekend, let's chill and watch TV, or let me go lay down. I'm gonna be like, hey, I should probably go take a walk real quick, or hey, you know what, I need groceries, let me go to the store, or hey, let me edit a video real quick, because I'll feel like if I'm relaxing, I'll be like, I gotta be doing something. I gotta be doing something. And
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Cause I wake up and I feel like chilling. I don't feel like getting out of bed. And then as soon as I get up and start drinking this, like right now, I feel like I don't want to sleep tonight. Like that's how I feel when I get it in me.
Yeah. For me, I get panic attacks.
Oh,
It's weird,
that's
man.
yeah.
I started
Yeah, that's
getting
way
them,
different.
like, I started getting them like on and off probably about 10 years ago. It started like a couple of years in college. Yeah, and so even today, like one of my things that I hate doing is driving long distances. Like
Yeah.
I get panic attacks sometimes from it.
Ooh.
Well, it goes in waves though. Some years are really good, other years are bad. So
Have you ever thought about seeing someone for that?
Yeah, I started seeing a shrink for it, but then it wouldn't really do anything. And then a doctor started subscribing some medications, and so it helps for the most part. But it's a battle that I'm gonna have to face probably for the rest of my life. What's weird is none of this happens for the rest of my family. I'm the only one that it happens to. It's just very strange.
Yeah, everybody's different. My sister's a psychologist, so she tries to educate me on that. I'm a big firm believer that mental diseases should be classified the same as regular diseases and such. So I'm not the most educated on them though, but she tries to teach me, and I try to learn what I can about them.
Younger me would have been like,
get over it. That was the same way. That was the same way as like a youngster. Get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Other people have it worse. But then as you get older, you kind of gain more compassion, gain more knowledge. Really, I was just ignorant, of course, as a youngster.
Yeah, I mean, I think for majority, most people that are young probably are some similar way that way. But,
I'm just laughing. RQ being he's trying to roast your ass. Says, bro, Mac's bald.
always, man, bald and beautiful, baby.
See, the good thing is you have a good shaped head. Like I've never seen. Okay, I've seen myself bald in my head. So right here, I have like a concave. So like if all this hair was gone, it'd be like a little cave in then cave out. I'd look like kind of like an alien head. So I can't. It's not an option. Like see your concave. Imagine that times 10. Like I legit look like I have like almost borderline horns if I don't have hair right here. Yeah. So I cannot go bald. It's not an option for me. I'll do a hair transplant before I go bald just because I don't have a good shaped head.
Yeah, when I was younger, because I started balding I started balding when I was in high school, like 18 years.
That's how my dad was. That's how my dad was.
Yeah. What's weird is none of my family is like that. Maybe my grandfather was, but he's been dead since I was basically born. But yeah, man, I was really self-conscious about it when I was younger. Nowadays, I don't give a fuck. It's bald. What do you expect?
It's something you can't control.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I got a nice dick.
There you go. Hey, if you got that, that's what matters.
Hey, and some ladies, they like that smooth, baby.
Oh yeah, I mean, have you ever thought about growing a big beard with it? Go like Thanos.
So I can't grow hair. Well, I grow little hair like right here.
Oh, I feel that.
So like right here won't grow anything. I can grow stuff down here. I can grow the stash, but I can't grow it like right here.
I feel you. I'm bald right here.
Yeah,
right here.
I mean, dude, I honestly, this is too long. I don't know if you can hear. Let me.
Time for a shave.
Like that's the longest I've had it for a while now.
So,
I usually shave it off every week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll use it. I started using the the triple blade, the one that like that.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like circles, right?
I do it that usually, and if I'm feeling spicy, I'll fucking just take the razor to it too.
Okay.
I'll use I won't even use like fucking
cream
now. I'll either do it I'll do it in the shower and open up the pores to where it'll cut real smooth, or I'll take some Head and Shoulders and just rub it down and then just shave it like that.
Okay.
The thing that, and I don't know if you've noticed this when you shave, The thing though is, since I'm a bigger guy, my dad has this. I think I got genetics from my father, but we're big sweaters. We sweat constantly. Like we're gonna have to, like, for instance, when my dad goes down to my grandmother's and works on the land for the day, he'll take 4 or 5 shirts with him because he's switching out at least 2. He sweats, and I'm not talking like
No,
sweat down.
okay,
I'm
yeah.
talking soaked. Like you can
Holy
wring
shit.
it out. And fucking
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hope he drinks a lot of water.
Yeah, I'm the similar way.
Okay.
So when I shave my head for the first 2 days or so, like after I get out of the shower, I'm constantly like my head is like just dripping with sweat, and that's why I love the wintertime because I don't have to worry. It usually dries out and cools down pretty quick. But during the summertime, is an ass whipping, and especially if it's a high humidity day.
See, that's the thing that's bad. You live where it's humid, so
yeah, you're lucky, man.
I was about to say I'm not a sweater, but that's because we have 0% humidity all year long. It gets like 110, but like you can survive that shit. Like it just burns your skin if you're not used to it. Like me, I'm used to it. 110 is like nothing to me. I can be outside throwing the baseball around, but I don't get swamp ass. I don't get all sweaty because it's just so dry that unless you're a sweaty person by nature, you're fine.
Yeah. Like I was telling you earlier, when I lived in Houston for a year.
Oh, dude, God. Oh, that humidity is the worst in all of Texas.
It was miserable.
I want to say Houston has the worst humidity in all of Texas, even worse than San Antonio.
Dude, it's got the worst humidity. It's got the worst traffic. It's got the worst people. I can't do it. I fucking hate Houston. Houston sucks. Sorry to be from Houston.
It's a tough place.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Oh, the traffic. Oh, I've been stuck in a traffic jam for 3 hours in Houston before.
Dude, in the morning time and during the summers are just like, you walk outside and you instantly...
you need a new shower.
Yeah, dude, I had to bring shirts with me because I'm working in construction, right? I'm out in the field. I had to bring shirts with me to change into after lunch because it'd be fucking 10 a.m. My fucking shirt's just soaked with sweat.
That's how it is.
I don't ever want to live there again. I fucking hate it. It was awful. It was so bad.
So how did you deal with the swamp ass? Because if you're a sweaty person, I know you had to have gotten some swamp ass. Do you take more underwear too? Do you put like a towel between your ass cheeks?
Nope. I just
dealt with it. Just live and let it get moist and shit down there.
Enough.
As long as you shower afterwards, you're fine. But
yeah, most jeans won't show your ass sweat.
Okay.
I wear pretty thick underwear, the box briefs. Yeah, most of the time I don't have to deal with the ass sweat. It was just like dealing with.
Yeah, I had to switch to boxer briefs too. Did you ever wear boxers, just the boxer underwear?
When I was younger, when I was in middle school, yeah, I wore them then.
I learned from a mistake. I don't know if I've ever told you this. I've told the story on stream a few times where I sat on my nuts one time.
Oh yeah, you told me this, and you had to get
because. I was doing my Rocket League scrims back whenever I was a aspiring professional Rocket League player, and I did them in my underwear, because the face cams are just up here. I sat on my nuts, dude, and had to miss an event. And at work, I had to rearrange my computer and shit to where I could lay on my stomach, and then have like my feet kicked out on like my chair, so that like my nut area was just kind of like free hanging. So there was no pressure on it. So it was just like zero gravity, just hanging rather than standing and putting weight on my hips. And I had to work like that. And I told my boss, hey, it's either like this or I'm taking 2 weeks PTO and you're gonna have to figure this shit out without me. It's up to you. And they let me work like that. And I explained to him, I told him, okay, here's the situation. I sat on my nuts. It hurts me to stand up. It hurts me to sit down. The only thing that doesn't hurt is to lay down with my hips free hanging. So I can either work like this or I can go home and recover. It's up to you, man. And I think my boss sat on his nuts before or something because no questions asked. He said, "Oh yeah, go ahead, do whatever you got to do." I think he's done it before because he, normally they'd be like, "What do you mean? What do you mean you sat on your nuts? How did you sit on your nuts?" He was just like, "Oh man, okay, yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do."
He's sympathizing with you, man. He knows when the boys hurt.
Have you ever sat on your nuts?
I probably have. I just don't remember it. Though I don't think I've ever had any really bad. Knock
Like
on
never
wood.
like full contact, right?
Yeah, I've never. I mean, I got stepped on with cleats in football.
Oh, on
Probably.
the nuts.
Yeah, on the sack.
Oh God, that sounds even
Yeah.
worse, actually.
No, it wasn't that bad. I think at that point in time, I was so tired and like I could barely.
And the
Even,
adrenaline when you're playing football, honestly,
yeah,
you don't
I mean,
realize how hurt you are till like the next day.
I've never had any really bad like
Nut.
scrote injuries, so
Okay.
to speak. I've had, I've broken fingers and like.
Oh yeah, my hands are, my fingers are so misshapen,
Yeah.
especially my ring finger. My ring finger, like it goes up and this way. Like, let
Yeah.
me see how I can.
I've fucked up my knee skiing. I had a couple of wrestling and jiu-jitsu injuries on my ankles.
Oh, jujitsu, huh?
Yeah, I did it for 2 years.
Nice. That's one of the ones I feel is the most useful.
I had to stop. Well, I didn't have to stop. I just chose to stop because I started working really early mornings in the construction industry. So I was
Yeah.
like, I can't like afford this, and I can't like I'm literally never gonna sleep if I chose to keep doing this. So
I
had to
gotcha.
stop.
But yeah, man, sitting on the nuts. Whenever I describe it to everybody, they immediately like, okay, yeah, that sounds awful. Because we've all been hitting the nuts, but sitting on them, it felt like next level pain.
Yeah.
The exact, and I remember the exact feeling. That's how harsh this was. The way it feels like somebody kind of like tapped into your spine and poured ice cold water down like your spine. You feel like a chill go down your spine, and then it feels like somebody with like if like here's the stomach. Feels like somebody just stuck their fist like this inside of your stomach or inside your guts, grabbing intestines and just twisting them around as much as they could. And like nothing you did could stop that pain and the twisting. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And the more you scrunched up, you would think scrunching up would help it. The more you did that, the worse it was. So all you could do was like stiffen up the best you could and just try to live through it.
We had
And then I was
a
tunnel vision. I was sweating. I couldn't breathe. I felt like my eyes were gonna pop out of my socket. I guess because of all the pressure I was putting on my head.
we had a running back who had a sex injury that was something like that, and he had to get surgery. He was out
A
for like
sex
2 weeks.
injury?
Yeah, he tangled his nutsack.
Oh, Jimmy told me
I-
that so his friend had something similar. I thought Jimmy was just capping.
No, man. I remember
His
'cause
nuts
he
got
didn't tell anybody.
twisted.
He was close. He was a close friend at the time.
Oh, that's so
he didn't
scary.
tell
That can
anybody.
actually
He told-
happen.
He told
I'm
me,
adjusting
he's
mine
like,
right
"Yeah."
now.
And he told me, he was like, "Yeah, I was fucking Sarah the other weekend, and my nuts fucking tied together. And that night, like he was in excruciating pain, so they took him to the emergency room, and he had to have fucking surgery that night. Fucking split him out, and and he was out. He couldn't play any time. He couldn't do anything like sports wise for like a month, but he couldn't, especially like even like walk or do anything remotely, like stringent.
The fact that that's possible, I think I've decided I want my nuts removed.
Yeah,
Like, if there's nothing they do aside from help me reproduce, I don't want my nuts. I really don't.
I'm still like I'm fascinated. I would never want to see my friend have sex with another person, but I'm fascinated to know like how hard were you fucking?
Dude,
for your
that's what
nuts?
I'm saying. For your nuts to tangle, like how hard you gotta go?
Like, were you like? But then again, this guy was a crazy motherfucker. I mean,
He
once-
might have been in some weird position or some shit.
Dude, I would not put it past him. Dude, I remember this kid, his mom had to come to the school to tell him that he couldn't play football. He was our all-star running back.
Yeah.
Couldn't play football for a certain amount of games because his mom grounded him for throwing a pan at his brother who's like 30 years old.
There you go. Yeah, that
Got
guy
in a
sounds
fight.
okay. So that guy was just a character then. He was just wilding
Yeah.
out.
Oh, he was a wild man. He's I don't even know. His name was Darius, and he was a wild character.
Dude, but I just don't know how during sex, how do you tangle your nuts?
Yeah,
Like
it's strange.
we run, we play sports, we shuffle. Like, I mean, you remember football. You know all the movements
Yeah.
that it requires. Your legs are twisting. You're
What's up,
you're
make
chopping.
nuts? Okay, so you got the tubes, right? You got the tubes to make them go like tangle and tie.
Exactly. What was he doing?
Oh no, man. Maybe
I
she was blowing him or something, and like sucking on his nuts, and she like did some tongue stuff and like
that's
tied that.
that's the only thing I can think of. Or that either that or you're upside down. Like, you know, here's his legs. You're upside down so that like they're already naturally kind of like laying at an angle like this, and then maybe turn. And I don't see this happening. I just don't see it possible.
I just know that he told me it was a sex injury, is what he told me, and that's all he said. I just went, ooh, like you're doing, like, ooh, I don't know, man. I don't.
I would have been like, bro, you got to tell me what position, how, when did you realize? Like, I need detail. Holy moly!
Learn from his mistakes.
I listen. Whatever position he did, that is going out of the book for me. I will not do that position if someone paid me to, because I'm not twisting my nuts.
I don't know. I'm more of just a regular style. He must have been doing some exotic shit.
Vanilla. Well, I was talking to the Tall Pine yesterday, and one half of them is not vanilla, the other half is vanilla, so that's an interesting relationship.
I know, and I was in there with you, and I was messaging, dude, whoever Vanilla Man is, he outkicked his coverage. There's no way. I'm saying it right now. Dead ass. Outkicked his coverage. There's no way.
There's no damn way.
No way.
They're both great once you get to know them.
Yeah, they're good. They're cool people.
But that's crazy. I wouldn't have taken you for a vanilla person. I actually took a quiz. They sent me the same quiz that they took to see like how your sexual, I guess, tendencies are.
Mm-hmm.
And mine, I'm only 60% vanilla. The rest is
there are only about four or five positions that I like, and I don't even like doggy. I'm not a doggy fan. Reason being is because my knee, like when I'm doing it, like
injury reasons.
Yeah, my knee starts to hurt. Like the ladies sometimes like it, but I'm like, dude, bro, my knee, I can't do it.
I gotcha. You ever get a cramp during sex?
No, I never got any. Well, I got a cramp in my my foot before.
I got a cramp in my thigh, bro, and I had to stop and get my girlfriend to rub it because it hurt so bad.
Yeah, man, I'm as vanilla as it comes, man. Missionary, favorite position.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with vanilla, but when we were talking about vanilla yesterday, I always thought that I'm still under the thought that everybody is into something weird. Literally everybody is. You have like a thought. There's always a thought, maybe it's like a little fleeting thought that just comes by every now and then. And the people that like discover their fetishes and shit are people that pursue those thoughts.
Nope.
Like, and it's not like anything crazy. Like, I don't mean like you like, you know, having a chain around your neck and pretending to be a dog or whatever the hell some people do. I just mean it could be something that you've considered and you're just like, nah, that's weird, and shake off the thought. And I think people that pursue those thoughts, that's when you realize like what you're into.
I think the weirdest thing is having like a dominance over someone, like blackmail or like.
Oh yeah, see that level of dominance is like I like dominance in terms of like power, but I wouldn't want someone to be like my pet or like, you know, like you do as I say. Like I don't like that kind of shit. That'd be kind of weird for me. Like I need people like even my dating and all that. Like my partner right now, I need somebody kind of strong. Like I don't like if I had someone submit to me constantly, I'd probably be like, you need to pack your shit and leave. So because I like strong people.
No. What's your lady like? You don't really talk about her on stream and stuff. How did y'all meet? What's she like?
We met whenever I was on a trip out of town because my cousin was going to meet his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was a friend of my girlfriend, and so we were all just hanging out. That's how we met. And I had a terrible reputation in my town, so my only options of dating were out of town. So, you know, I pursued that, and she's I had to word her. She's somebody that seems cold on an initial because she doesn't like to talk much. She doesn't care for casual conversation, but she's really nice when you get to know her, and she's reserved, quiet, smart, more really strong though, like strong-willed. Like she'll make her points. If she doesn't agree with something, she won't just, okay, fine, you're right. She'll always fight back, push back and stuff she believes in, stuff like that.
Yeah. Is she around the same age as you, or?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Almost exactly the same.
Yeah. What is her occupation?
She is working for the same place I'm working in, so also NDA'd. Yeah.
All right.
I listen. I'll cut you a deal. If I ever go full-time streaming, I'll legitimately just I'll quit and say I'm not NDA'd anymore, and I'll say exactly what I do. The very first day, if I ever go full-time streaming, you'll be the first one. I'll DM you, hey, I just quit my job. This is what I used to do. And I promise you, it's not as like people like accuse me of being a Fed. People accuse me of being a government. It's really like you're gonna be shocked, but not like it's not gonna be what anyone expects. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be anticlimactic. So
no, I mean you'll be like, oh wow, that's crazy, but it won't be anything you expected. Like literally everyone expects something like super sketchy. That's what everyone thinks it's sketchy just because there's an NDA.
No, I in construction I still work with NDAs. I think we had an NDA when we were at the very beginning stages.
Yeah, see, everybody makes you sign NDAs these days, and it's just because they don't want company secrets and shit out. That's really all it is.
We had to do it for the University of Texas. So
yeah, yeah. See, so
their new basketball arena, I helped.
There you go. You did that. You can drive by that shit whenever you're older and say like, I built that. I built that. You ever have old people do that shit around town?
No, I don't.
My dad would do that.
I have to do that. I don't.
My dad would do that shit. Like, oh, you see that restaurant? I built that. I'm like, bro, you were probably just like an electrician or some shit. You probably didn't build that shit. You probably.
Yeah, I'll just tell him I budgeted that. That's it. That's all
Oh,
I did.
Budgeting. That is my favorite thing to do in construction. As I told you, I was a project manager, low voltage. I loved saying, okay, here's what you need. Here's how much we can do it for. This is the pricing. This fits within this. Here's the room for error. Here's the percentage of error we expect. Do you agree? And then arguing back and forth till a number. I love that shit. Negotiating is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, did all that, man.
It's fun.
I'm the same way. Finding the holes. I view my job as kind of like putting a puzzle. Every project.
Yeah, dude, for real. That's all project management is.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Just trying to figure out exactly. Okay, I have this amount of dollars.
And then where does everything fit into this money I have? How can I spend it the most efficiently?
Exactly.
And it's just great. It's great because everybody's also trying to do the same thing. So there's not a lot of assholes that are kind of throwing wrenches when you're at that level. Because, you know, we've all worked menial jobs, and at menial jobs, there's like always assholes that aren't pulling their weight or that are kind of bringing the operation down. And when you get to the high level of budgeting and shit, usually everybody has best interests. So it's like you're working with people that care.
Yeah,
and I love that shit.
I just finished the hospital out in Albuquerque. It took like 2 years of my fucking time. I did basically anything on the exterior and any of the finishes I was a part of. It
nice.
Was an ass whipping.
Oh yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
Ooh boy, I've already gone for my 2 hours, so I want to give you a few closing questions.
Okay.
This is going to be the recurring one because I've asked literally everybody this. That when do you think it's okay to lie for relationship sex purposes?
I would say for relationships, I would say you could probably do it every now and then. Sex purposes, just don't lie. What's the point?
No. See,
I'm already hanging out.
Oh no, I'm in the opposite. I mean, like for sex purposes, I mean, like I think that you should be just completely as truthful as possible when pursuing a relationship. Like I think because you're gonna want to be with this person for more than a night. But I think if you're just like hooking up, I think it's okay to like lie. I think it's okay to like if like let's say you're gonna have a one night stand. I think it literally does not matter what you tell that person. You could tell them like, oh hey, I'm a movie director. Oh hey, I made 10 million last night day trade or not yesterday day trading. It doesn't matter because you're just gonna have sex and you're never gonna see him again. They don't care about any of that shit. It's just a one night thing.
But I want good sex with them, so I just tell them straight up. I mean, if they're not gonna be interested with me anyway after it, I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah, see, so I think it's okay to lie at that point. But I think if you want to date somebody, I think you just be as truthful as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that. But at the same time, I mean, hey, does this dress make me look fat? No.
That's what Justin said yesterday. And so you think little white lies like that are okay?
White lies are fine. Big lies like I don't live with my family, but I live with my family kind of lie.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So if you were dating somebody and their sister was way better looking than them, would you tell them if they asked you? Like, what do you like? Do you think my sister's better looking than me? You would tell them?
Like, I would say it instantly. Like, damn, your sister is fine. I tell them.
That's good. I mean, that would either make or break the relationship.
Yeah, that's and also you get to see her. What's the wording I'm looking for? Her composure.
Yeah, that's true.
The way she.
Like if they take shit personal.
Yeah, exactly, and how she's gonna deal with it. If she's gonna hang it over your head, kind of deal. How the whole relationship is gonna go. It's their jealousy, is where.
Yeah. I like that.
You can see how she holds jealousy.
I think I would straight cap and say no, of course not. No, if I thought your sister was hotter, I'd be with them instead. Just mainly because I guess I'm with you then. White lies are okay.
Yeah, but I mean honestly, that's gonna be the way. Look, and at the same time, if you're gonna try to be with your sister, I mean, what's the point of even trying to be with her? I mean, I think the way you should approach it is just to be truthful with her, see how she is, and also she needs to recognize that you chose her, and that you believe that you like her for her reasons. Who knows? The sister could be crazy as hell.
And you know what? I have a perfect example of that. I think I've told you this story before, where there was a girl in my class. She was my age, and she had an older sister and a younger sister. One year older than her, 1 year below her. I was 16. Yeah, we were 16. Older sister was 17. Younger sister was 15. And I pursued the middle sister that was in my class. I thought she was great. I thought she was cool. And she was not interested. She like actually like we were good friends. Like we talked a lot and stuff. It wasn't like I didn't know her and just rolled up like, hey, let's start dating. Like I talked to her a lot. We were friends for a year. And she kind of like laughed at the thought, like kind of scoffed at it, like me with you. And so I was just like, man, you know what? Like, first of all, you're not even the prettiest of all your sisters. You're the bronze medal. Like, first of all, older sister is absolutely gorgeous. Younger sister looks better than you. I just thought you were kind of cool. And second of all, your older sister's been in the DMs, so you know what? I have another opportunity. And so I pursued older sister, who was much better looking, but my God, was she dull. She was so dull. Like, the relationship was boring. She wasn't funny. She didn't like my style of humor. She didn't have any fight in her. Like, if we disagreed, she'd just be like, okay, you know what, let's do it your way. And I'm just like, okay, sure. And I don't like that shit. Some people like that. Some people like to be right, and I like to argue. I like when people push back. I like whenever I disagree with somebody and they're willing to stand for what they believe in. Because that shows me that they're a strong person, you know? Even if we disagree, I'm just like, I still respect the fact that they believe in something and care about something enough to not back down. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't like that. And so she was way better looking. But man, it was like dating a just a wall, dude. And so that didn't last. And so you're right. I think the looks and that element. Maybe I would say, you know what? Yeah, your sister does look better, but I like you better. Maybe I would tell the truth then.
Hey,
all things considered.
I've dated women that were less attractive than friends, but the personality is where it's at.
That's true. That's true. Because God, older sister was like a 9.3 out of 10. Like really, really. Like I think she could have gone on to modeling.
But dumber than a bag of rocks.
No, she was smart and shit, but she was just so. I don't know.
There's types of smart. I feel like there's the academic smart, and then there's the just personality smart.
I think her thing was just that she wasn't confident. Because it was like it's like the pushback thing. Like right now, like with my girlfriend, if I say something and she disagrees, we're gonna argue, and not like in a mean way. Like we're not gonna be yelling at each other. It's almost debate, and then we're both gonna eventually say, okay, agree to disagree. And I like that because it's like you're not allowing me to step on you, and I'm not allowing you to step on me. There's this respectful boundary where we're both strong, capable, powerful people, and we respect that about each other. If I wanted somebody to just, hey, like let's say I say something they disagree with. Let's say I want to do this, they don't want to do it, and they just say, okay, sure, whatever you want. Like I'm gonna be so unhappy in that relationship because I love power, but I don't like people. I don't like being with somebody that's weak and unable to stand their ground. I'm attracted to strong people. I always have been.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, you know what? I'm gonna backtrack. I would tell if my girlfriend said, "Hey, do you think my sister looks better than me?" I'd probably say, "Yeah, she does." But you know, I don't like. I like you better. I like your personality. I like who you are better. I think I'm with you now. I think I would tell the truth.
Yeah, I would just say, hey, she looks better than you.
Because it just runs so deep to date somebody. There's so much to dating somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. There's so many aspects. I mean, the human is just a complicated person, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's just better to be straight up with it.
But there is some shit I still would lie about. Like,
yeah, nope. I think that's like, I look pretty in the dress. Yes.
Yeah. See, there you go. Shit like that. Like,
and then when I turn that corner, I'll be like, that's one ugly ass dress.
Or if they get a haircut and they're not happy with it, they messed up my hair. I look horrible now. I'll be like, no, it's not that bad. You know, it's okay. And if the hair looks like shit, I'll be like, I can't wait for that shit to grow back.
Real talk, the next question. Any bald chick, I'm out.
You think?
Shave your head, I'm
really?
Out. Other than if you have cancer, understand, I'll stay with you. But you shave that shit, I'm out.
One girl that I dated, she shaved half of her head, and I thought it was kind of cool. Like she did like a fade. She did like a fade. She did like a fade right here, and then like from here, like all the way it was gone, and she'd do like a comb over, sometimes this way and sometimes this way, and it looked pretty sweet.
You talking about the Skrillex look?
Kinda, but it was like a taper fade right here. It looked pretty sweet. I always thought it was cool. Some people told her it looked weird. I thought it was kind of cool, but I like weird though.
You keep it nice and short, that's fine. But if you make it like me, if I'm looking at a mirror image of me, like, nah, I'm out.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. Everybody has their preferences. Like some people don't like. Some people don't like that. Some people don't like. Like I know some girls that say they don't like people with facial hair, and I know some that say they don't like people that don't have facial hair. So I mean, everybody has their preferences. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair play. I guess my main preference is only in personality, because I've dated an array of people, and you know what? Looking back, I do have a tendency. I like kind of like slimmer built, tall people. Actually, yeah. You know what? Looking back, I've barely been taller than practically everyone. You know what? I've only been a few inches taller than everyone I dated, and I'm 6 foot.
I'll take any size, any shape, as long as they don't have a bald head.
I mean, I'm just talking about tendency. I guess I don't like right people. Like, I mean, of course, I've been dating for the same woman, so I'm not looking for dates. But I don't like write people off for things. But like, I'm looking back at all of my exes, and they all do have a similar build.
You want to talk about my exes? You know what? I'll say it. Latinas, come on to Papa Cody.
Hey,
Come on to me.
there's plenty in the beautiful state
man.
of Texas.
When I was down there for Cinco de Mayo several years ago, I thought I was in fucking heaven, bro.
There's well here I think the Latino or the Hispanic percentage in El Paso is like 70 something. So
yeah, I was the minority. The white man was the minority when I was out there, yeah.
It's Spanish is the main spoken language here. It's crazy. Like you don't like everyone approaches in Spanish, and if you don't know Spanish, they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then start talking English.
The thing that would be hard for me to get over is the family dynamic, because I know Hispanics are, especially gatherings.
Yeah.
So I think, and I would get probably a little nervous on that end, but anyways.
We do love our families, and we do meet, and when we do meet, there is about 50 of us, 60 sometimes.
Yep.
When my family gets together for the holidays, there is about 60 of us. Yeah, and then everybody had a kid or two by the time it's the next one. So
exactly, and so ours is more like 10 people.
Gotcha.
Good luck with a kid.
Yeah, like my dad has 6 brothers and sisters, so like it's just, and that's how. But I will say this though, my generation of my family, like me and all my cousins, we're not having kids, so it's kind of cutting down a little bit. But then the flip side of that is we have a lot of native blood somewhere down the line. Like my grandma is native. I've said this before, that I know I have probably a good percentage of it in me, but I just feel like it's disrespectful to claim it because I didn't grow up that way. We grew up raised Mexican.
Have you ever done one of those ancestry deals?
I haven't, but my grandma that raised me is absolutely native.
I've done one.
I probably will do one. And so everybody in my family lives a really long time. It's crazy. Like my grandma's gonna be 85, and she still goes and power walks every day, and mentally very capable. Speak perfect Spanish, like proper Spanish, proper English. It's not like broken or nothing. So she's not losing her words. Reads, does puzzles and shit every day to keep her brain sharp.
Yeah.
And she's like, the joke is that she's gonna outlive all of us. That's what all of us say, because she's just so capable still as an 85-year-old woman. So nobody is losing it. Oh, here we go.
That's my people. That's where they're all at.
England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, Norway, and Basque.
It gives you percentages. Yeah, it gives you percentages.
Wow, so you are like 101% white, huh?
Yeah, and then it tells you where. This is on ancestry.com, so it tells you, where your people went from, kind of deal, and then as it goes forward and stuff like that. So,
how much does that cost? I'm gonna be down for that.
It was like $30 or something like that.
No way. I gotta do that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Watch me find
dox my name, but whatever.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'll edit that out in the YouTube video.
You're fine, man.
It was just your name though, right? It didn't say where you live and stuff.
Yeah, I don't care. Even if somebody found out where I live, it's like, what do you want to come rob me, bro? I'm not. What are you gonna take? My water bottle, bro? You gonna take my water bottle away from me? I don't care.
Fair enough. I'm down to take one. The only thing that would worry me is imagine finding out like you're not who you thought you are.
Yeah.
Like that would break my heart, dude. If I'm like,
that's how they caught the Golden State Killer.
He did one of those tests.
He did one of those tests, and they caught him through that.
Damn. Well, I'm glad they got his ass.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I want to do one, but that's my thing. Is I'm also like what if it comes back and I'm like, it says, oh, you're only like 5% Mexican. I'd be like,
I get it.
I'd be like, no, there has to have been some mistake.
When I did it, I was like, man, I hope my mom and dad are actually gonna be my mom and dad.
Yeah,
that was my only thing.
Like with everything I've been through with my family and all that, it would break my heart to find out I'm like from someone else or some shit.
When I got back the results, I was like, okay.
Like if it comes back and it's anything less than like 70 to 80% Mexican, I'm gonna know someone lied. Someone lied to me somewhere down the line. I'll be like, who's capping? Somebody was capping on my ancestry.
Well, my mom's previous previous relationship before she met my dad was a guy who's actually bald.
Oh
So
shit!
that was my only fear. Is like, if I come out being that motherfucker's father, or he's my fucking father, I'm gonna lose my shit. I may fucking cap him. I may fucking do it. I may fucking spend the rest of my life.
Yeah,
I
so
don't want to be that.
I'm tempted
like,
to do one. You know what? I'll do it. Even then, even at this point, I think I've experienced enough that if something was to come back like that, I already like know who my family is emotionally.
It's cool to understand where your ethnic regions are. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know that anybody was ever married to a Spaniard, yet I have some lineage of somebody being a Spaniard.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Yeah, see, like, I only have what's been verbally told to me. And what's been verbally told to me by my grandma and my grandpa before he died was that they came from Mexico. They migrated from Mexico. My dad was the first generation American. I'm second generation. They migrated from Mexico legally. And that my grandpa, we call him Popo, he said that his dad was from Mexico and his mom was from Spain. So I know somewhere down the line, if everything checks out, if his stories check out, if I am who I think I am, I have a little bit of Spaniard from my grandpa, and a little bit of native from my momo, my grandma.
That's interesting that you call your grandfather Popo, because is it Popo? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Popo.
Because I called my grandfather Papa.
Oh, I was like the Mexican version.
Yeah, so it's just totally switched. Yeah, that's interesting.
And we call him Popo, and my grandma Momo.
Yeah,
and
my grandmother Nana.
Okay, and then my other grandma was just grandma. Then my other grandpa, I didn't know him. He was dead upon me turning 1 or something.
Yeah, I got one grandparent left. My other grandma died earlier this year in July.
Oh, sorry for that.
Or August. Oh, it's all good, man. It's just
yeah. All I have are my grandmas. Both of my grandpas died, but one of my grandmas I haven't talked to in a really long time. I probably should see what's up.
Yeah. You got any other questions?
No, nothing else. I don't think. The dressing. How could I forget about the dressing? Have you seen the dressing talks? Mm-mm. Okay, so the question is, let's say you're with somebody and you have to put a sauce all over them, sexually. You're having sex with someone. Yeah, which sauce are you putting? And it has to be a sauce. I'm not going to accept the monk tried to say hot Cheetos or some shit. Or powdered Cheetos. Okay,
this would be a tie. Can I? This is a
as long as they're sauces, you can say whatever. As long as they're sauces.
It would be a combo. It would either be buffalo or ranch, but I would like the combo.
So see, I went with ranch dressing. That's what I went with.
I would put buffalo on the top and then ranch on the bottom, because I don't want them stinging themselves down below, right? So I'll just be.
But I think buffalo on the asshole would burn just as bad, no?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you'd have buffalo sauce up top.
Yeah.
And then ranch down below, because I'd get as much buffalo sauce, and then I'd want a little bit of ranch on the
side. Then would you let somebody put sauce all over you if they wanted to?
Oh.
Like if you're with a girl.
Do I have like a tarp down? This isn't in my bed.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
You would let them?
As long as that's spicy stuff on my pecker.
Yeah, I'd imagine everybody would have to be respectful. That'd just be disrespectful to say, hey, I want to put Frank's Red Hot on your penis. Yeah, I don't think I'd let that happen. But sauce, sure.
Buffalo sauce up top, ranch down below. I need the combo. If I have to have, if you're gonna put a gun to the head, choose one. I'll probably just say buffalo sauce, but I would prefer the combo, so I could get the heat of the buffalo sauce and get a little ranch side. Cool it down.
Nice. So that should conclude everything. I wanted to ask you though, do you have any closing remarks? Anyone you'd like to shout out? Anything you'd like to plug? Anything you want everybody to check out?
Hey man, I mean, just check me out. I don't stream very often, MacNaNpacN. I will say the origins of my name, I don't think I've told everybody. I'm always macking on them ladies and packing that heat, baby.
There you go. I like it. I like it.
It's been fun, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
enjoyed chatting with you. Yeah, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
great.
Always
Fellow
enjoy
Texan,
it. Yes,
fellow
sir.
Dallas Cowboy fan. Hey,
Oh, yeah. Big fan.
yeah,
Since birth. Unfortunately, pretty much, but whatever.
yeah. It's been fun hanging out with everybody and chatting along with you, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. I will probably talk with you sometime this weekend, I'd imagine. You need to download
Yeah.
Halo. That's what you need to do.
I need to get on that Halo. I've been playing so much Battlefield though. It's
Hey.
Battlefield is like tap the vein. Let's put it in me, bro.
All right, man. Well, I'll talk
All right,
to you.
man.
See you.
Later.